Welcome back. Now, my next guest has highlighted the steady decline of Wikipedia as a trusted news source for the general public. Small cells of bad faith editors have hijacked entire topic areas and are using Wikipedia to put biased information into platforms like Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, Alexa, and Siri. Joining me now is Editor and Chief Investigative Officer for Neutral POV, Ashley Rindsberg. Ashley, you say Wikipedia's corruption of information has reached crisis levels. Explain just how bad this is.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, Rita. What we're seeing is that bad faith actors, and that can include anyone from state propagandists to foreign terror organizations to paid business interests, have learned that Wikipedia can be hijacked. They can take clusters of 2 or 3 or 4 editors who can capture an article or even an entire topic area, a political area like American politics, Australian politics, or pharmaceuticals, and they can radically alter it to suit their own agenda. That's a problem because, as you mentioned, this is the material that feeds AI. It feeds ChatGPT, Gemini, Siri, Alexa, and of course, Google. So the information we're getting downstream has been perverted and corrupted by these bad faith actors.
Now, these ideological players, these ideological editors, how many are we talking about? How many actually have control over Wikipedia and where they're coming from? You've mentioned some can be from the corporate world, some may be from activist groups, even terror groups, but do we have an idea of the countries they're coming from and just how many there are?
It's extremely hard to know who they are and what they're really about. And that's part of the problem because they're anonymous. They don't even need to register their username on Wikipedia. They can just use their IP address. So it doesn't take very much for someone to conceal their agenda on Wikipedia. It's sort of designed for that purpose. In one case, we know that the gang of 40 editors who are sort of pro-Palestine, anti-Israel, in some cases pro-Hamas, at least 3 of them are from Australia, others from around the world, and they have radically altered the entire landscape on Wikipedia on the Israel and Palestine conflict.
Now, tell me about the relationship between Wikipedia and these AI platforms. What feeds what? Is Wikipedia relying on AI or vice versa?
AI is relying on Wikipedia to an alarming degree. And that's because the Wikipedia data is very structured, it's very sort of regulated in a technical sense, and best of all, it's free. So these sites can get all this free data and they can populate their AI, they train on it, and that's basically every frontier AI model trains heavily on Wikipedia. And they also pull Wikipedia data for reference purposes. So when you ask a question on ChatGPT about some topic, in many, many cases, and this is to a disproportionate extent, they're directly pulling that information from Wikipedia, and that could be from an article or topic area that has been hijacked or corrupted by one of these edit gangs.
Now, Ashley, we've been speaking all week about the horrific stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee in North Carolina and the media's failure to properly cover that story. One of your tweets about this went viral, had millions of views, and you showed a Wikipedia article about the murder and how it was nominated for deletion. There was a warning there saying it may not meet Wikipedia's general notability guidelines. Explain that to me. How does that work?
Wikipedia has a policy that things should be notable so that they can meet the threshold of being inside of an encyclopedia, not just a news story. In this case, this was an important event. It had already been in the news for many weeks, and still Wikipedia editors wanted to keep it off of the site because they didn't like the politics of it. They didn't like the optics of it. It didn't agree with their own ideology. So they took a very simple step. And again, this is only 2, 3, or 4 experienced veteran editors who can pull this kind of thing off very easily. It's only because people started to notice that this effort was defeated. And yet still these same editors fought very hard and successfully to keep the name of the suspect off of that article. And there is currently no mention of the suspect's name on the article, as if for his own privacy.
even now, there's no, even when we've had the president speak about this issue, it's become such a media scandal. The media's role in really not properly covering this story has become part of the story, and still Wikipedia doesn't have a key bit of information, which is who is, and we can't even call him a suspect because he's literally on video murdering this girl. There's no alleged here.
Yes, that's right. And still today, no mention, where we see in a counterexample when the Kenosha shootings, the BLM shootings, and Kyle Rittenhouse was accused of murder. He was a minor at the time, and Wikipedia had an article about those shootings where they mentioned Rittenhouse 50 times in a single article. There was no scruples about including his name, and it was some of the same editors who were fighting to keep this suspect's name, in this case, off the article, who made no mention of the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse was being accused in this article of a crime and his name was being exposed despite him being a minor at the time.
Now, are you saying Wikipedia is worse? Because I've never trusted Wikipedia. I've always seen it with the leftist slant it has, and in some cases that leftist slant is more extreme. In other cases, it's a little bit more subtle, but it's never been trustworthy in my eyes. Are you saying it's getting worse, or it's just something that we should be aware of and not trust?
It's getting worse, and the reason is because more and more people, more of these groups are waking up to the fact of its extreme influence online and in our lives, on AI, on Google, everything we discussed, and they're understanding how easy it is to break in, to hijack these articles. It has become, yes, exactly, to manipulate it and become this backdoor vulnerability into the entire information ecosystem. The foundation in charge of Wikipedia has done very little, in some cases nothing about this, because they too have been captured. This is something that happened in 2017. They were captured where a member of Hillary Clinton.
We will have to get you back on. We've run out of time, but this is just such an important issue. Ashley Rindsberg, thank you so much for your time tonight.